For starters, Don V, if you happen to catch this video, congratulations, dude. Your Hokies came out on top over us today. Enjoy the win. I hope you do enjoy it. And good game, dude. That's all I can tell you. As for the game itself today, I'm so freaking pissed off. You guys have no idea. I mean, I'm keeping it calm for the video here because I don't want to, start screaming, shouting, and all that. But in the pit of my stomach right now, there's this big freaking fire that's still burning. Oh, I don't even know where to begin. And the funny thing is, people, I shouldn't be angry. I really shouldn't, because today's game was just the epitome of how this whole season has been. And I really should not be surprised, so I shouldn't be angry. But, when your team gets out to a 17-0 lead, it makes you feel good. You think, hey, there might just be a glimmer of hope and this team could actually, play the way it should have been all season long. But then, of course, reality sets in, and we play great for 3 quarters. Down the stretch, everything goes to shit. And just to make one thing clear, people, I'm not talking about the players here. Let's make that very, very clear. I know these guys are busting their asses off week in and week out, and come Saturday, they're doing everything they possibly can, playing to the best of their ability to come out with the W. I get that. So I'm not putting any blame on these players. But with this game today, 2 big things contributed to it. And that first being the referees. You got to give a game ball to the referees. And I know some of you are saying, oh, here he goes. Sean's going to start blaming the refs for the loss and all that. Hear me out. I'm not saying that at all. But if you expect me to just ignore the fact that they contributed to it, then you're full of crap. Because they did contribute to it, and you all know that. Anyone who watched that game today, you know it. You have two targeting penalties that do not get called by either on the field or up in the booth. The booth doesn't even review it. I mean, a helmet-to-helmet shot and a shoulder-to-helmet shot. I mean, maybe the second one was kind of close, but it was a shot to the head regardless. And the booth doesn't even review it? This proves me right of what I've said all along in the past about targeting. The whole thing is a freaking joke. I mean, it's funny, in the past, when we've gotten called for it, it's the slightest contact possible. Really, the slightest contact possible, we get called for it, our guy gets ejected from the game. But no, today, it happens to us twice, where our quarterback takes a freaking shot to the head, one by a helmet, one by a shoulder pad, not even reviewed. I'm not trying to start anything, like Notre Dame's being screwed, or, there's a conspiracy against Notre Dame or anything, but that's what it felt like today. I mean, that is strict incompetence on that officiating crew. It was a joke. I mean, these referees, they're so ready to throw the flag on us for it, but, like I said, for the slightest bit of contact, but no, our opponent, no, not at all. It's a freaking joke. The whole targeting thing is a freaking joke. It's very inconsistent, but anyway, in addition to those 2 targeting calls that were missed, you have a phantom pass interference call, the one on Bucky Hodges, and that led to a Virginia Tech touchdown. The guy didn't even touch him. Our defender, that is, didn't even touch him. If anything, in my opinion, it should have been offensive pass interference. So it was just a joke by that officiating crew, on the field and in the booth. The second big factor, we did it to ourselves, and it was this: coaching. Coaching screwed us today. I mean, things were great for the first 3 quarters, but then, as it has been all season, it seems like down the stretch, late in the 4th quarter, the play calling goes to shit. The coaching in general goes to shit. I mean, for example, that 4th and 5 play on the last drive of the game, and I don't know if this was a design play or not, but if it was a design play, Kelly, what are you thinking doing a quarterback run with Deshaun Kaiser on a 4th and 5 with 26 seconds left and you have no timeouts? As my high school varsity coach said, stupid every time we made a mistake. That was the case today. You got to be throwing there. I mean, how far up his ass did Kelly have his head? I mean, and we've seen a lot of that all season long. I mean, when you go back and watch all the games, how many of those similar mistakes has Kelly made? I mean, like I said in the last video that I did, people, I'm not going to start one or jump on any kind of fire Brian Kelly bandwagon, but as I did say, it is really getting hard to defend him when he's making these stupid decisions. And you know something, people? This is just my opinion, but all the guys on this team, at least for this season anyway, they were set up to fail from the start of the season. I mean, you start the season, well, the first game against Texas was pretty good, but defensively it was shit. We all remember that. But as a team, these guys were never set up for success. I mean, when you have all the stupid play calling decisions by Brian Kelly, and then you start the season with that dumbass Brian Van Gorder who can't run a defense to save his life, and these guys were never set up for success for this season. They weren't, and it's showing right now. And Greg Hudson, you know, I can't really put any blame. I guess you could put some blame on him, but he was put into a tough situation. I mean, to take over as defensive coordinator and put things together on the fly, he gets a little bit of a pass in my opinion. But this whole season, you know, these guys they weren't set up for success. They really weren't. Well, all I know is this: if Brian Kelly doesn't get his shit together on the play calling and fixing these stupid decisions, then he's going to cost himself his job pretty freaking quick. You know, he says every press conference after a loss, oh, we got to coach better, we got to coach better. Well, start freaking doing it. I'm sick of hearing it. Let's put the words into action. And at this point, people, I'm just ready for this damn season to be over and done with. Just get this last game out of the way. Sorry, the light went off. Just get this last game out of the way and move into next season. And the crazy thing is, I hate to think what's going to happen next week in LA. I really do. But I just hope, you know, these players can reach down and, you know, salvage some kind of pride from this season. Because, again, I don't blame the players. These guys are trying hard. But just today's game against Virginia Tech, another example of how this season has gone. So with that said, people, I've already ranted and raved long enough here. You know, all I can say is this. You know, first off, for anyone who's traveling for Thanksgiving this upcoming week, please be safe and, you know, have a good Thanksgiving to all of you. So with that said, people, this is ND 45 signing off. I say to all of you as usual, God bless, and even in defeat, go Irish!